Hey guys, this is Paddy from windowanddoorparts.ie, and in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the rollers on a uPVC sliding patio door. Now before we get started, I just want to point out that even though the type of door in this video is really common, that not every uPVC sliding door will be the same and will differ from manufacturer to manufacturer. But the method in general will be the same. Remove the anti-lift blocks, removing the covers and lifting the door out. So we can see here the door is taking a lot of force to get it to slide. This is a sign that the rollers are damaged and need replacing. This is really common with sliding patio doors and is caused by wear and tear, dirt, rust and even pet hair. To replace the rollers you'll need to lift the door out of the frame. To do this you'll first need to remove the parts of the door that prevent the door from being lifted. At the top of the lock side of the door we can see here there's an anti-lift block. This is to prevent a burglar from lifting the door off the track and gaining entry. Simply remove the two screws and pry out with a flat screwdriver. Next, remove the cover from the back side of the door. Use a paint scraper and insert it into the joint between the door and the cover and gently pry up. Don't use a flat screwdriver as it will damage the door and the cover. Pry up the cover down the whole length of the door to remove. In some cases there will be an anti-lift block behind the cover. So we can see here that the top section of the door is still preventing the door from being lifted up. Use a paint scraper and insert it into the joint between the frame and the cover and gently pry up. I'm only using a flat screwdriver here to keep the cover from clicking back into place as I pry it out. So with everything out of the way, it's time to lift it out. I'm using a glazing suction pad because I had no one to help me on the day I filmed this. You'll definitely need someone to help you lift the door as it's going to be heavy. To lift it out, lift the door straight up and at the same time pull the door out at the bottom. Lay some cardboard or plywood on the ground to protect the door and lay it down on its edge. Now the rollers are simply screwed up with two screws. Remove the screws and remove the old rollers. We can see the rust on this roller and the wheels are stiff. You can reuse the existing screws to refit the new rollers if they're in good condition. The new rollers are almost identical to the old ones and the screw holes match up. Face the height adjustment screw to the outside of the door. This is important as you will need to adjust the height of the rollers when the door is back in place. Do the same on the other roller. We can see on this roller one wheel is nearly seized up while the other is turning freely. With the door removed from the frame, it's a good time to sweep out the track. Remove any stones or large debris that might snag the door. Stand the door back up and lift it back to the door frame. To lift it back on the track, lift it straight up and at the same time push in at the bottom. When it's over the track, let it down. Now that the door is back on the track, slide the door across almost to the closed position, leaving a small gap. We can see here that the cap is bigger at the top than at the bottom. This means the door is off level. It is really important that the door closes level as it will affect how the door locks. To do this, use a Phillips head screwdriver and insert it into the gap above the track. Use the screwdriver to feel the head of the screw. To increase the height, tighten the screw. To decrease the height, loosen the screw. Tighten the screw a turn or two and then recheck the gap. If the gap is bigger at the bottom of the door than the top, adjust up the front roller. And that's it. The door is sliding nice and freely and it's locking perfectly. All that's left to do now is refit the covers and anti-lift block. Next, reposition the cover strip and tap back in place using a mallet or a hammer. Fit the anti-lift block back in place and refit the screws. The last thing to do is refit the top cover. Reposition the cover and tap back into place with a mallet or a hammer. When all the covers and anti-lift block are back in place, give it one final test. And that's how you replace the rollers on a uPVC sliding patio door.